Welcome to the first episode of Sober Trails. We're in the Red River Gorge in Kentucky today on the Rush Ridge Trail. We're headed out to a point, gonna set up camp and hang out there for the evening. But if you're into nature, or if you're tired of living drunk and high, and you're ready to hang that shit up, hang out with us for a little bit, and we'll see where this thing goes. I'm a little curious to see where it's gonna go myself. But I guess when we get to camp, we'll talk a little bit more about it. If we don't get lost, turned around. It's possible. All right, we're gonna hang here tonight. Nice little campsite. Got the hammock hung up, little fire pit. But I'm gonna take y'all out here and show you the view off this point. It's pretty damn nice. What do you think about that? That's beautiful. Gonna be a nice sunrise here in the morning. This is Corrosion Cove. I come in from the Gray's Arch parking area. I love it up in here. All right, well, I guess we need to collect some firewood so we can eat supper tonight. So I'll tell you a little bit about myself and a little bit about what I got going on here. Now I'll start with I'm Josh and I'm an alcoholic. And I started drinking at a very young age, about 13. And I drank for the better part of 30 years. And I drank hard. And I've been married to the same woman for 27 years. Amy, you're an angel for hanging here and there with me for so long. We've got 3 beautiful kids. But I drank through most of that. And you know, I've wanted to quit drinking for a long time. I quit enjoying it years ago. And I'd always talk myself into, you know, I can't live without it. I don't know how to live without it. And I had very little continuous sobriety over them years. Even though I did, you know, go to meetings and I had different sponsors at different times, and I wouldn't give it up. I wouldn't surrender. But in 2019, enough bad stuff happened that finally just pushed me down in the dirt. And I just did not want to live that way anymore. So I started putting together a little sobriety time. And I had a little over 2.5 years through AA meetings, working the steps with a sponsor. But I got too comfortable. I wasn't giving back. I wasn't helping other alcoholics. I was not making my sobriety my #1 priority. And so, y'all know what happened. Over this past winter, I ended up drinking. And I drank 3 times over a 3-month period. And I drank, and I was trying to climb out of that hole. And I fall back down in it. And I just couldn't seem to get it right. And I always enjoyed doing this stuff. And I got to where I couldn't even do this because I was afraid I would drink. I didn't trust myself to come out here. And so I bought this camera. And I started taking it everywhere with me. Talking to it, you know. I was going to put it on YouTube, Sober Trails. And it's going to hold me accountable. I was taking y'all with me. And I've got hours and hours and hours of footage. And nobody will probably ever see it. But, you know what it did? It kept me sober. And that was a start. And also I joined Instagram. And the sober community on Instagram is unreal. There's so much good sobriety on there. So many good people. It's just a great, great community. And if you're going through this and you haven't become part of that Instagram community, get on there. I highly recommend that. But I'm sitting here today with just a few days shy of 7 months continuous sobriety. And I thought it's time to try this thing out. And I don't know how it's going to turn out. I'm just kind of letting God lead me. And I'm listening, paying attention. And in my mind, I would like to see some people come on to some of these adventures with me. And it ain't got to be climbing up a damn mountain. It can be anything. Walk through a park. Go see a covered bridge. Anything. But if I could get some people in recovery to come along with me and share a little bit about their story and how they stay sober. So maybe something like that will happen. But, I can't tell you all about myself all over, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever, 30 minutes, whatever this is going to be. But I'm open. I'm going to be really vulnerable because talking about it helps me. And, if nothing else, it may keep me sober. One day at a time. Good morning. Sitting out here on the point, watching the sunrise. That's why I do this. So I was down there watching the sunrise and thinking about how grateful I am for the relationships I have today. And that's really what it's all about for me, is relationships. That's just what life is about, I think. But I had a plan in my head, what I was going to do this morning. And I was going to come back up here to camp, and I was going to try out these breathing exercises that Matt Gardner has recorded. And He's at Recovery Roadmap on Instagram, and his podcast is called Beyond Recovery. And I really like Matt. He's a good dude. But I was going to try these breathing exercises, something new, you know, and plans changed. There was two guys, a man and his son, camping up here from me, and they come down. And, we ended up talking for about 2 hours. And, that's what it's about. It's about them relationships. And I'm grateful that I wasn't up in here hungover, foggy brained, where I couldn't or didn't want to have a conversation with anybody else. And it was really good. I mean, we talked about everything, and they're from Cincinnati. And, I'm really blessed this morning to be able to experience that. Sometimes things can wait for situations like that just may come up and change the plans. But anyways, look like we got some rain coming in here in about 3 hours. So I think I'm gonna pack up here, hike out, and go to the next spot and get set up before the rain starts. And maybe I'll tell y'all a little bit more about, a little bit more of my story. And we'll just see where it goes. Alright, so we packed up. We come over here, drove over to Oxear Ridge parking area. And we come up the left side of the loop. And we can't come through here without seeing Star Gap Arch. So we're gonna barrel down through there. And I'll show you the arch. Alright, we're here. I was thinking I bet there's 40 cars in that parking lot up there. And there ain't a soul here. But if you haven't seen it before, here's Star Gap Arch. Thumbs up, God. You did good on this one. Maybe you keep chipping away at me, I'll be this impressive someday. I doubt it. I do what I can, though. And that's really something. This is one of my favorite ones that I've seen thus far. Star Gap Arch. But we're headed over that ways. Probably follow that ridge out, I imagine. We're going to see if we can find Jailhouse Rock. Alright, get back after. So my wife told me not to be walking and talking too much, because I'll be out here chain smoking and shit, and I breathe heavy. Ooh, here's a nice little campsite. But I've got a pebble in my shoe, and I was thinking, in treatment, that always stuck with me. One group we talked about having a pebble in your shoe and being too stubborn and hard-headed to stop and get it out. which I'm doing right now. I've come probably a half mile with a damn rock in my shoe, and I just want to just keep going. But you know, my fifth step is like dumping rocks out of my shoe. With my sponsor, I let all that shit go, and I don't know, maybe y'all can relate to that. You know, it could be anything. It could be something, you know, that we've done to somebody else that we need to maybe make an amends for, or, you know, just talk to somebody about it, or it could be something somebody's did or said to us, and it's just eating at us. And, you know, sometimes just talking about that, just letting it out, and, you know, having a different perspective, somebody, you know, having a different perspective on it to give you some positive feedback could change the whole situation. And that's really helped me a lot, having some people that I can just be completely transparent with, and, you know, I trust them and I can tell them anything. And, you know, they are recovering alcoholics and addicts themselves, so they kind of get it, you know, how our brains work. But I think I'm gonna stop here and get this pebble out of my shoe, and I'll meet y'all at camp. All right, we got a really, really good camp spot for the night. Check this out. Man, it don't get much better than that. Any camp spot after this gonna have a hard time measuring up. This is cool. But there's that's Courthouse Rock over there. I don't know if I pointed at it. Me and my son Ethan come here one time and he climbed that, and oh, I was a nervous wreck. But he's old enough, I can't really tell him what not to do, so he did it. He made it. So but I definitely would not come up here drunk or drinking, because it's drop off all the way around us. And yeah, that'd be kind of dangerous. There's only one little way in, and that's it. So as far as I know, I don't sleepwalk. I think I did a few times drunk way back when. Peed in the corner one time, I think. But anyways, really good spot. The rain's moving in. We barely beat it. So I'm gonna batten down these hatches and get everything where it won't get wet, and get up underneath there. And I'm gonna turn these breathing exercises on that Matt Gardner's got recorded, and I'm gonna try that out because I'm really interested in it. I hear him talk about it, and it sounded like something I'd like. So I'm gonna try that. And you know, I'm kind of just opening my mind up to some of these new ways of recovery, you know, or something added to your recovery. And you know, I'm gonna try some of this stuff out, and I'm gonna do it anyway, and I'll let you know how it goes. So I was gonna tell you how the breathing exercises went. I would highly recommend taking a few minutes out of your day and checking that out. Get somewhere comfortable where you can be by yourself and relax. And I mean, I've got the perfect place for that right here. But I'm gonna continue doing that at home. I really, really liked it. I did the first 2 tracks. The first one's just preparation, and I just did what Matt told me to do. It's just, you know, breathing, which was hard at first. It really was, but I stuck with it. and my body kind of adjusted to it. And the second track is called The Child, and he takes you kind of walk through the woods, and I just kind of sat here and just relaxed and pictured it in my mind, and I shut it off after that second track, which took, I don't know, 15-20 minutes maybe, and I just sat here and just was quiet, and I mean, I had a calm that come over me. And at one point on the Child, I got a chill that went up through me. That was pretty neat. But yeah, I did it about an hour ago, and it's still, I'm just calm, and I'm gonna do a couple more tracks maybe this evening. So anyways, check it out. Y'all see that sunset? That's pretty. I'm camped on the other side of the ridge, so we had to come across the street to see the sunset. But we ought to have a good sunrise in the morning. But I'm hoping over time, y'all get to know me, and I share my story and my struggles and my sobriety with you, and what I do to stay sober one day at a time. And I'm hoping we'll have maybe some interesting people to come along with us on some adventures and share their story. But I'm gonna check this little sunset out and go back and eat some supper, and we'll talk to you in the morning when the sun's coming up over there. Have a good night. What y'all think about that? That's beautiful. I'm trying to be quiet because there's people sleeping still. Wow, that's really something. I'm gonna do some praying, fix a little bit of coffee, get this day rolling here. I tell you what, I am truly blessed to be here experiencing this. It's just so peaceful. It's gonna be a good day, really good day. Feeling really blessed this morning. This place is beautiful. It's just so peaceful. Yeah, I'm grateful to be able to come out here this weekend and experience this sober, and really soak it in for what it is, and not what my drunken mind would try to tell me it is. But it's it's putting in the work every day. It's not just it's not this. You don't have to get out and climb a mountain to stay sober. But it's just what I do. I'm passionate about it. But I do what it takes every day. Even at home, at work. What it takes to keep me sober today. Because I do believe in the saying that what I did yesterday is not going to keep me sober today. It helps. It helps tremendously. But as soon as I get comfortable and fall back on them old ways, then I'll slip right back into it. And I don't like to struggle. I do not like to struggle. And if you are struggling, I mean, I know what it's like to drive by a liquor store, and it's just all I can do not to pull in there. And I know what it's like to pull in there. just settle for, hey, that's who I am, and I'm getting drunk tonight. And it sucks. It's miserable. We've all been there. It's part of it's part of the process of recovery. I mean, that's early on. It's all I thought about was just, hey, am I ever going to quit thinking about drinking? Am I ever going to get to a point where that obsession, has left? And it has. It has for me. God's taken that from me. Like I said, I mean, it can come back. For some people, it don't. But for me, it's always been a battle, and it's a battle worth fighting. But I mean, I use the resources available to me, and people's made this journey before, and they know what it takes to get there. And so I pay attention, and I listen to them guys that's got some sobriety. They know how to do it. Because like I said, I don't like to struggle. I don't want to. But I'm able to do this stuff because everything at home is taken care of. My bills are paid, my wife's happy, kids are happy. They trust me to come out here and not drink, mess up, and wind up in jail. But I did show my wife a little clip from yesterday. I was talking, I said, we, talking about you guys. And she said, who's we? I said, always, I can't do this alone. I'm bringing y'all with me. I know I can't do it alone. So, but yeah, I'm going to head back home because I want to get cleaned up, go to a meeting tonight. My good friend Louie is picking up his 20-year chip tonight. And 20 years, that's a long time, Louie. Congratulations, buddy. You're a good friend, and you've helped me out a lot. I don't know if he'll ever see this. He's not into social media and stuff, but yeah, so I want to be there for that. And tomorrow get back to the grindstone, doing what it takes. But hey, we'll wrap it up, get out of here. Thank you guys for helping me stay sober. I hope you enjoyed it, got something out of it maybe. And we're going to see where God takes this thing. All right, peace.